First thing.
First thing, know it all here in Seattle. There was a double shooting in Belltown. Claimed the life of a pregnant woman and her child. And not much more information now. Channel 4 said the shooting happened around 11:16 a.m. People in the area told Channel 4 News they were tracking an alert for a guy walking up and down Bell Street with a rifle. It's unclear if police were already in the area when the shooting happened. Assistant Chief Thomas Mahaffey later told Channel 4 that the witnesses gave officers the information they needed. The man was found, located, and arrested. No word on a weapon or whatever. And then I did a drive-by at the news desk, and none of them were on this story. They didn't hear the story break on the scanner yesterday, but I can't find a backup to the part of the story about tracking an alert for a guy walking up and down Bell Street. The mayor, Bruce Harrell, was speaking to some homeless industrial complex backslapping lunch yesterday, and he did jump a little bit on it. And again, a pregnant woman and the baby are dead, and so in my world, that's two dead, but not in the Bruce Harrell world.
A life was lost, and it's very sad. They are relying on us. They're relying on us for hope to deal with these complex issues of recklessness and violence, housing insecurity.
And no witnesses can report that the guy, before he shot the unarmed people in the Tesla, the driver with non-life threatening and the woman and her baby dead, that the guy was not yelling, "I need a roof over my head or else I'm going to shoot someone." So I don't know where he gets that. And this is just an hour and a half after this happened. It's insecurity and homelessness or something.
Recklessness and violence, how to deal with these complex issues of recklessness and violence, housing insecurity.
Yeah. So anyway, don't know what. Maybe he knows something I don't know, but it doesn't seem that housing insecurity is the reason that a guy tried to kill a couple in a Tesla there at 3rd and Lenora yesterday. But maybe we'll get more. I don't know. Thing two.
Second thing.
President Donald Trump pleaded not guilty to 37 federal charges in Miami yesterday. The former president is accused of keeping and hiding top secret information. The FBI found over 100 classified documents last year at his Florida home. It's illegal to mishandle or willfully steal classified information, which is supposed to be kept in guarded government facilities, says the Washington Post, not pointing out for a second that if you're the president, you can declassify anything. The Presidential Records Act is a different deal, however, but whether or not they could be there or not, I think is a done deal. There's only been 46 of these people, and most are dead, who had the right to declassify stuff. But so anyway, thing two.
Let's go with thing three.
Wait, what was that?
Third
You're
thing.
right. Third thing. Late in the day, Trump got back to Bedford, New Jersey, and these were, if you're wondering, well, who's the audience there? They weren't very raucous. These are the super well-heeled people that he's hitting up for campaign donations. Whether or not people want to contribute to his legal defense or his campaign is not clear. We'll check, because he has to report to the Federal Elections Commission. I'm not quite sure, but I got to say, if there's buttons to push, he pushed them last night.
If the communists get away with this, it won't stop with me. They will not hesitate to ramp up their persecution of Christians, pro-life activists, parents attending school board meetings, and even future Republican candidates, which they do. We must end it permanently, and we must end it immediately.
So objectively, I got to say, I think those are the buttons he has to punch, because right now he has to secure the MAGA base, basically. And that's what, and whether or not that is really what's going on doesn't matter. If you think it is, then you want to hear that from him. But I don't think he's going to get a lot of campaign donations by saying, I'm the biggest victim ever. Write me a check so I can unvict him.
I also don't love when political leaders say this.
I am the only one that can save this nation.
Being a student of history, when a single person comes along and said, I'm alone, I'm your retribution and can save this country, it rings a few alarm bells
And he
for
said
me.
that. He said, I'm your retribution before he even declared. But I just think that this builds momentum. I think it's a sure thing he's the nominee unless he pleads this out. And I don't think there's any way he will. I don't know what the I mean, is there a downside to not being president and not being the nominee? And if you're a billionaire but you pled guilty to a felony, what happens? Except that, he's not going to. And I don't like this current president and his son's corruption. And I don't like that. I know that it will not be investigated. It won't be covered in the media or anything. So that's where, on the one hand, I would, if I was a Republican, this is a real conundrum that I want the media's attention just out of sheer boredom on Biden, but you gave them a sideshow, but he's probably going to be the nominee. And if he's the nominee, I got to say, speaking of No Country for Old Men, I'm going to flip a coin. I think he's going to be president. I mean, I'll, and then if he does, look out if your name is Clinton or Biden, because he's gonna come at you with that. Though, by the way, before anyone wannabes or whatabouts on this, remember both of Trump's attorney generals, his first two, Sessions and Barr, they looked at Hillary Clinton and they did not prosecute her after Comey said, probably don't prosecute, which shocked me.